Welcome to Galloway Forest Park, everyone. It's a lovely day here. This is the penultimate round of the Scottish Rally Championship, and we hope for a clean run, good result. The clouds are beginning to come in, there are no midges, and everything's hunky-dory. How's that? Goodbye.
As Robin said, the Armstrong at Galloway Hills was the penultimate round of the 2022 KNC Groundworks Scottish Rally Championship, and once again the Galloway Forests could be the backdrop to the title being decided. The event began in sombre fashion, local rallyman Scott Sloan performing a bagpipe tribute to mark the Queen's passing, broadcast over the rally's entire radio network, followed by a 2-minute silence. Then the thoughts turned to rallying, David Bogie and John Rowan heading up the 58 starters, David in with a chance of securing a 6th Scottish title.
Yeah, I suppose so. We're not thinking too much about that at this stage. You know, there's a long day ahead of us, but great weather, great stages, and just, yeah, looking forward to a good day out.
Good enough. A wee bit nerved this morning just with the dampness and what's going to happen, so hopefully we've got the right tyre on and we're all set to go. So.
Good. Are you going to get a chance to mess with anybody else's championships today?
You never know. I don't intend doing any of that, but a championship's a championship, isn't it? So
you get the cobwebs blown out after the Grampian, so that'll be good to do. But yeah, we're feeling good.
Yeah, good. Looking forward to the stages today.
Aye, yeah, they look good. Hopefully that bit of rain's going to bind them together a wee bit more. So we had a small test yesterday, maybe just a 12 miles, something like that. And I felt okay. I don't think I'm going to be on my normal pace first thing, but hopefully we can get there by the end of play.
Yeah. Stages look really good. People tell me it's a fantastic rally. The sun is shining. I did a little bit of a test yesterday. Car felt good, so sounds like it's all on me.
Two stages run 3 times would make up the day, the weather dry and sunny. And it was Bogie and Rowan who took the early lead. David, conscious of the punctures that had put them out of the Scottish, was trying to drive the car more straight than normal, the Fiesta arriving at service with a 7-second lead. Second after 2 stages, David Henderson and Chris Lees were only 1 second off their fellow Fiesta in stage 1, despite David feeling he was too cautious. They backed that up with equal second fastest on stage 2. Just 3 seconds back, Jock Armstrong and Cammy Fair were back on form after their Grampian retirement. Despite a dodgy sensor dropping the car into limp mode mid-stage, the Impreza was equal second fastest in stage 2 to arrive at service in 3rd.
Back up, left 4, don't cut. Into right 2, take it flat, 100, go. Long right 5, up, commit, 100. Left 1, and left 5 in.
Always quick in these forests, Angus Laurie and Paul Gribben were absolutely flying in their Evo. Angus keen to get a good result on his home event and wrap up the Albon Garage Challengers title in the process. He was 4th overall after a fantastic start. With the car sorted after their Grampian off, Michael Binney and Claire Mole had endured a difficult morning. A misfire holding their attack back on the opening 2 stages, and there was frantic work to cure it in service and keep their title chances alive. Mark McCulloch and Michael Hendry were a further 4 seconds back and were also dealing with issues. The dampening around the prop shaft breaking up, causing some really bad vibrations, especially in the slow sections. They headed into service, trying to find a solution. Hugh Brunton and Drew Sturrock had started steadily, probably too steadily by their own admission. the Fiesta crew looking to speed up over the second loop. John Wink and Neil Shanks were also too cautious by their standards on the opening loop. The I-20 crew rekindling their Grampian battle with Brunton and Sturrock, just 4 seconds behind the Fiesta at first service. Topping the Autoshop two-wheel drive standings after two, Stuart Eggleston and Brian Hodgson knew they needed a win to keep their title hopes alive. The Mark II crew defying conventional escort wisdom and taking a slightly harder tyre. But clearly it was working, the Pinto-powered car 9th at first service. Back in the car for the first time after their big Grampian accident, Willie Patterson and Tom Hind were understandably playing themselves in gently. A little untidy on the first loop, they were finding their feet again quickly, just 3 seconds behind the Escort after 2 stages. Peter Stewart and Harry Marchbank were second in the two-wheel drive ranks after 2 stages. The 208 driver not very impressed with his own performance in the morning and looking to try and get on terms with Eggleston on the second loop. Retiring almost before the event began, Ian Baumgart and Michael Cruikshank were forced out on the opening loop after a puncture and losing all power steering in the Impreza.
Just two clean stages, to be fair. I don't think I've ever driven a rally car so much in the middle of the road, so just trying to keep away from all punctures and play it safe. But yeah, two beautiful stages, but as I say, just cautiously driven.
The first stage was really nice. I was braking too early, so but just a cautious run really, and then the second one was a lot faster but quite difficult. A lot of loose stuff on it, difficult to get confidence on that, so I don't know, we'll see what the times look like. Hopefully I'm not too far behind.
Can't complain, yeah, the car's seems to be going well, so got the problem from the Grampian out of the way, so yeah. Good. Just got to try and keep up with this man in front of us, and a few people behind us. Angus is going really well, so yeah. We'll see what happens.
Just need to keep what we're doing all year. Just keep it sensible, keep it tidy, and get to the finish and see where we end up. So yeah, it's about that. Home event, so we want to kind of do well as well. It's a very hard one to find the balance, but we need to do our job today.
Yeah, very good. Great condition this time through. There's 1 or 2 bits which will cut up loose, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, nice and flowing, and yeah, really good. Yeah, and damper than I thought there might have been as well, which I'm pleased with really.
The second loop and the drama would ramp up. On board with Henderson and Lees in stage 4, and it tells the story.
Michael, right, go, 80, flat left, 1 over crest.
And clearly both David and Chris feel for their fellow competitors.
Oh, Michael Binney.
Oh man, gee whiz.
I came across Michael Binney who'd gone off, and so we got slowed down for that, and we were prepared to stop because I could see the car smoking, and then they gave us a thumbs up and waved us through, but that was sad to see.
Misfire sorted. Binney and Mole were clearly pushing hard to make up time before they would go off, thankfully without injury. Unfortunately, this accident ending Michael's title chances, but Claire is still in with a shot of the Co-Drivers' Championship. And it was on this loop that Henderson and Lees made their move. Fastest on both stages, they turned their 7-second deficit into a 13-second lead. The Fiesta crew clearly finding their flow.
Left 2 plus in over crest, and a flat left 1 into crest, 80, right 4. And long left 3 plus in, 80, right 2 and flat crest jump, 40. Left 1 into right 3 plus past junction, 80. Flat crest, 130, right 2. Into left 3 plus, right 3 plus carry, 80, all loose ahead, late left 3 keep, and right 3, and right 3, 80, left 3 plus, and left on flat crest and very long right 3 nips, 80.
Pace didn't tell the whole story though. Bogie and Rowan had made a setup change in service and transformed their Fiesta into a bit of a boat. They were planning on reverting to what they had before and were trying to decide on a plan now that Binny was out. Armstrong and Fair had resorted to keeping the Impreza's bonnet open until the very last second on stage start lines in a bid to fight the overheating sensor. Amazingly, it was working. The Impreza now just 4 seconds behind Bogie and Rowan, with only 2 stages remaining. Laurie and Gribben continued to shine in these forests, the Evo running faultlessly, and was now 12 seconds clear of McCulloch and Hendry. The Proton's service crew wrapping the prop shaft in mudflat material at service to help with the vibrations. It wasn't a perfect solution, but it did help, and Mark was loving his home stages.
Yeah, the stages are really good. Next, I had to apologise to Neil Shanks here. Gartley Moor used to be my favourite stage, but Kieran Edwards now overtaken it.
They had to watch their back though. Wink and Shanks had sped up over this loop, climbing to 6th over these 2 stages. The I-20 now just 3 seconds down on the Proton.
Stages are great. That Kieran Edwards stage rivals anything anywhere. It's absolutely superb.
That's just what Mark McCulloch was telling me.
He's even saying it's better than Gartley, which I might have to have a word with him about because I'm not sure if I can have that. But no, it's good.
Brunton and Sturrock were a fantastic third fastest on stage 3, but were then delayed when they lost the power steering in 4. They were able to cycle the system and get it back, but a frustrating 20 seconds were dropped to those around them. Patterson and Hind continued to find their feet again, taking time out of their first runs on each stage and jumping from 10th to 8th in the process. They were planning a couple of setup tweaks in service for the final loop. In the two-wheel drives, Eggleston and Hodgson continued to do what they needed to do. The Mark II dropping only 2 seconds to the 208 of Stewart and Marchbank and leaving the Escort with a 17-second lead with 2 stages remaining. Peter and Harry ruining their steady start.
50, long left 3 no cut, tightens to 5, and long right 3 in over 70, narrow left 2 no cut, C150, left 2 late over crest and left 1 in over crest jump and right 2 and right 1 in, left 1, keep left over crest jump and right 1 crest, left 3, here's your left 3, crest 120, right 1 in 60, left 1 over crest and caution left 6.
Two more runs would round out the day, and there was plenty happening throughout the field. The start line of stage 1 would set the tone for the Irvins. Just up the hill and the car would cut again, and they were out after less than a minute of rallying.
Are you tired? Because apparently word has it that you're a dad of 4 weeks.
I know. Not too bad. I got a good sleep last night, so yeah.
And I think the question everybody wants to know the answer to is, how did you get permission to be here?
I don't know. A bunch of flowers worked wonders. So.
Liam Richardson and Darren Kennedy were out for the first time since Liam became a dad. There were initial concerns about the gravel tyres rubbing on the suspension, but they were forced out with wiring loom issues in stage 4. Ross MacDonald and Matthew Johnson were finally back after their disastrous snowman. Finally get some mileage in the new car, they made it to the end of stage 4 before drive shaft issues put them out. After rolling her purple Evo into the river on the Grampian, Aileen and John Forrest were out in the ex-Kevin Downs car. Loving the stages and the car on the opening loop, they would unfortunately retire with a blown engine while in the lead of the ladies' contest, starting a mad dash to sort the car before the final round. Ashley Morris would inherit the ladies' lead at that point. The Fiesta driver had spent the morning trying different tyres to see what worked best. There was a big moment on a loose section in 4, and Ashley had had an argument with a B mid-stage. But sadly it would go wrong with an off in 5, thankfully without injury. Unfortunately, the car needs a substantial amount of work, and the final round is in doubt. Steve Bannister and Callum Atkinson were unimpressed with their performance on the opening loop, but the second had gone better. Unfortunately, they were caught out in the same section that had claimed Michael Binney, and they were out of the rally. Former Junior 1000 champion Lewis Haining was making his gravel debut in his very nicely prepared Corsa. With new dad Ian Parker in the hot seat, Lewis was delayed with brake problems on the first loop, but was starting to find his flow on the gravel. Unfortunately, they would slide off the road near the end of the final stage, but it was still a positive first event for the young charger. Taking the ladies' win after Aileen and Ashley's issues, Megan and John O'Kane enjoyed an interesting day. John was car sick for the first time ever in the navigator seat, and they had a puncture in stage 3. The engine was also down on power, but they would survive to take a second ladies' win in a row and keep Megan's title hopes alive. Rue Campbell and Shayna Archibald enjoyed a day of sideways and smiles in the sunbeam. 27th in the SRC was a good result, cementing Shayna as the Scottish Junior Co-Drivers Champion for 2022. Cameron Black had Duncan Dawn in the co-driver's seat for the Hills. The 323 crew started strongly on the first loop, despite finding it quite slippy. A radiator hose would then blow on the middle loop, and they kept themselves in the event with a mixture of orange juice and pond water and made it to the end, 26th in the SRC. Just don't remind Duncan that he fell into the pond they used to get the water. Richard Stewart had Colin Maxwell in the hot seat for this round, regular navigator Karen taking a well-deserved holiday. They really enjoyed their day out, taking a solid 25th in the SRC. Just 8 seconds up the road from the 208, Donald Brooker and Tony Booth were very happy to have a puncture-free run after their disastrous Grampian. The Legacy running well all day. Alistair Brearley and Jerry Bryden were just another 10 seconds ahead of the Legacy at the finish. Having missed a couple of events due to COVID, they were delighted to finally be back competing. The Mark II taking the C3 win and moving Alistair into a 3-point lead in the class with 1 round remaining. (22nd in the SRC, Davy McLeod and Eamon Boyle were another crew looking to bounce back after a difficult Grampian. The Sunbeam running very strongly all day to second in the H1 class at the finish. Martin Erskine and Kieran Hislop needed a solid run to wrap up the C2 title. A burst water pipe on the first loop was a setback, but they enjoyed the rest of the day, pushing the 206 hard on the stages. Jim Robertson and Mike Curry endured another difficult day out. A faulty fuel pump was replaced at first service, and they cracked the radiator with a heavy landing in the middle loop. That was patched up and they nursed the car to the finish, taking both the H2 and Haddo Energy Super Seniors win. Mike Motes and Gary McDonald knew they needed a Subaru Cup win to take the title, but were very confused when they dropped 40 seconds to their rivals on the first loop. They then discovered Mike hadn't put the Imprezas diffs on over the opening stages. They were right on the pace for the rest of the day, taking the C5 win and second in the Cup.
The nerves were starting to kick in. So since Monday they have been, to be honest, but the goal for this is just cruise, like, so I'm not going out to beat anyone or be fast. It's just focus on getting the best points I can and staying on the road. Getting back to service, getting the car back in the garage in one piece. That's the goal.
Good, well that's a good goal. It's a nice day for a run actually.
It's a pretty simple goal, isn't it? Exactly. It should be a good one. Looking beautiful.
Robert Proudlock had Andrew Faulkner in the hot seat for this round, the Adam driver under strict orders to take a solid finish and wrap up the junior title. A safe and steady run was exactly what the boss man ordered, and they finished 18th in the SRC and second in the juniors. A very emotional moment for Dad Malcolm at the finish, and a great achievement for Robert in his first full season of rallying.
150 up middle. Fast 4 left, over crest, and 6 left, and 6 right long, and 6 left, and crest jump, into 6 right long, into crest fast 4 left, crest fast 4 left, 170 down middle over bumps, 5 right, 40, 5 left, 60, 4 left, and 3 right short. Watch the 3 right short.
After a run of bad luck, the hills marked a turning point for Justin Gunning and Stephen Clark. The Fiesta man pushing hard as always and really enjoying the car. They took the junior win by 8 seconds from the Adam at the finish, a nice reward for their perseverance. Oren McDonnell and Ewan Anderson needed a win here to keep their Subaru Cup hopes alive. It was an excellent run despite a small turbo issue to 16th in the SRC and the Cup win. To top it all off, they were awarded the John Horton Star Drive nomination in the process. Paul McAlane and Niall McKenna were back in Scotland for the first time since the Speyside. On MRF tyres for the first time, they were enjoying the day out, flirting with the edges of the road in proper Mark II fashion. '15th and the M5 win was a good result, and now it's time for some upgrades to the car.
Today on Sesame Street, boys and girls, the letter is P for Peacock's P-plate.
Scott Peacock had picked his home forests to make his four-wheel drive debut. Learning a lot as the day wore on, particularly about gear choices, Scott and co-driver Craig Wallace had an excellent run to 14th in the SRC. There's plenty to come from this team in the future.
And right 2, and right 1 in, left 1 keep left over crest jump, and right 1 crest left 3, crest 120 over jump, right 1 in, 60, left 1 over crest, caution left 6.
Keith and Mary Riddick took the M2 win and an excellent 13th in the SRC in their home forests. A broken front spring in the middle loop did little to delay their progress. Keith very grateful to one of the historic Mark IIs for a loan of a spring. Out on the stages, their commitment was obvious, and the MG was sounding absolutely fantastic. John Crawford and Josh Davidson were having one of their strongest runs of the season on the gravel, the Mark II taking the M4 win and an excellent 12th in the SRC. John looking the happiest he has all year in the woods. Bob Adamson and Will Atkins were delayed in the morning with an overheating diff alarm on the Fiesta's dashboard. That was traced to a dodgy sensor, and they were able to push harder on the remaining loops, grabbing 11th in the SRC at the finish. Second in the two-wheel drives and 10th in the SRC wasn't enough to guarantee Peter Stewart the Auto Shop two-wheel drive driver's title. With the 208 pilot missing the final round due to other commitments, it'll be a nervy wait to see if he joins co-driver Harry as champion. And keeping his title hopes alive, it was another fantastic performance for Stuart Eggleston in the Pinto-powered Mark II. 9th SRC, H1 and the two-wheel drive win, Stuart and Brian doing all they could to give Stuart a shot of the title in the final round. Eighth was an excellent return to the stages after the Grampian accident for Willie Patterson and Tom Hind. Seventh was a decent reward for Brunton and Sturrock after their power steering issues. McCulloch and Hendry would nurse the Proton's prop shaft all the way to the finish in 6th. And Wink and Shanks would leapfrog the Proton over the final loop, taking 5th by just 4 seconds at the end of the day. And taking a fantastic 4th, the Alban Garage Challengers win and title, it was a dream day out for Angus Laurie and Paul Gribben. It was a very controlled and fast drive, doing exactly what they needed to do. Another team photo opportunity for the album.
It was a home event, means a lot to me, this rally, like, so it was wanted to give it a good push, have a good go at it and see where we ended up, but at the same time need to be sensible head on and do the job we came out to do this year, so job done and very, very happy.
Armstrong and Fair had some late drama to deal with a puncture on the final loop. Third was another good result in Jock's home forests, the Impreza crew doing enough to keep Cammy in with a shout of the co-driver's title.
Jock the third today, not Jock the second. Well, that's good. No, pleased to be here. Got a few ins and outs, just like everybody else. So it's been a level playing field, I think. So, and David's just overwhelmed the whole job today. So that's good to see a new winner. So very well done to him. That, been well organised. Things has came together nicely. So and the weather's been fantastic. So I enjoyed it. Enjoyed Cammy's today. So we were at good pace when we were going well. So that's the main thing.
And second was enough for David Bogie to wrap up a historic 6th Scottish title. No easy feat keeping the head knowing that he couldn't make the final round. It was a solid performance from David and John to guarantee the championship win.
Yeah, definitely. I was just saying I've never been so happy to finish second overall. So it's been a hard day, difficult stages, and we're under a lot of pressure today. Of course, we can't make the last round of the championship, so we had to ensure that we had a good, clean run today. So more than happy, obviously taking the championship honours, but taking nothing away from the guys that finished first. They're on a good pace, kept the car out of trouble, deserved one.
Yeah, good. And John, how was it from your point of view?
Yeah, it was fantastic, but I must say to the Motor Club, they put on a fantastic event. They always do. So have to thank them very much for that there, and to David and Chris on the win. It's fantastic to see them winning, and no, we've had a great day.
Good, excellent. So you're not at the Carlisle stages?
No, unfortunately we've got other commitments and we're being forced to miss it. So as I say, we're really keen for another championship. You know, we've done the championship and obviously won it previously, and we went away and done BRC and other bits and pieces. So it's nice to come back, support the championship, get the win, and yeah, and celebrate it.
On board with Henderson and Lees on the final stage.
Late right 3 over finish. Watch the 2, and then late right 3 over finish.
Have we won a Scottish Championship round, mate?
Oh, mate. No way.
35 seconds clear of the field at the finish, it was a fantastic first Scottish win for the Fiesta crew, showcasing the potential they've shown the entire year and for what's still to come in the future. A big day for Chris, having grown up around the SRC, plus this result keeps him in the conversation for the co-driver's title on the final round.
Yeah, we're really pleased with that, aren't we? We had a fairly good start and a little bit of a slower second stage, and then when we started to pick up the pace, the times came to us, and I think it really worked well. Obviously, you need a good car and you need a good navigator, and I'm fortunate to have both of those.
Yeah, absolutely delighted. I can't say anything other than that. I'm kind of lost for words. Yeah, I'm so pleased. It's been a little while coming. We've shown the pace that we're capable of all year, and today it's just everything's just gone absolutely to plan. David was just on it from the word go. No issues from that side of the car. Absolutely fantastic.
So bogey makes it 6 titles, and it's a first win for David Henderson and Chris Lees. 1 round remains, and there's still plenty of titles to be decided on the Carlisle stages in October.